Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
We're going right now.
Cool.
Let's start over. Here we go. I'll do it. What do you want to do? Should I do the intro?
Not for anything.
Okay, so then we're just going to roll with it. Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Garden State Podcast. Josh just faded out that music ever so softly, right at the right moment.
Or it could keep on going right now, depending on what I do in the edit. I could put completely different music this week.
Put circus music on.
No, I don't want to ruin the podcast.
This is a circus, this place. Welcome back, everybody. It does feel a little bit weird. Like it's almost like the gun at a track meet going off when we do the intro, and now I don't know how to really begin. I don't know how to do. It's like a false start.
Well, for starters, Jimmy Parks and Jordan are wearing almost the identical T-shirt today, which is kind of freaky.
We thought it was the same one.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cute.
slightly off, but
You guys didn't text us about this or anything?
no. Next time.
We don't talk.
It's crazy how it's an unbranded T-shirt. Like there's
It
no
is.
Garden State logo
And it's a
on it.
weird color too. It's like a weird
very sad.
Wait a
purplish
second.
gray.
You think that's purplish gray? I
This
think this
is-
is brown.
Really? I feel like this is like a
No,
purple.
that's a gray shirt.
It's a gray brown.
Okay, maybe I'm imagining purple.
I was gonna say, looking at these shirts on you guys could be related. You look very similar.
We are related.
And your last names even sound kind of like they could be faintly, distantly
Parks
similar
and
origins.
Morris.
Yeah, I mean, like very.
Parks and Morris.
It is
But
close.
like if you said to me, if I didn't know you guys and I met you and you were brothers, I'd buy it.
I don't think they look anything alike, other than
Let's
the
just-
white skin.
Let's just roll with it. We're
I could
brothers
see
now.
it.
Jimmy looks a little more Irish than you. You look. I don't know what you are.
Let me see the eyes.
I don't think
maybe.
you know either.
I don't really know what I am.
French, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. French, Irish, English. I don't know.
Yeah, you're
A
Morris.
little bit of everything.
nice.
Boring.
Me and Josh got a similar mix going.
Yeah, the families are from Poland way back in the day.
Yaksamash.
Look at us.
Well, there's a little bit of Polish there for me. I mean, like half.
Well,
of my
your
family.
ancestors came from Poland or where?
Yeah, my last name very Polish. My dad's my great grandparents.
But your pops was born here, right?
Yeah, my great
Okay, grandpa, where was he born?
here
Okay, his father.
was born. I believe my dad's great grandfather, who you're referring to, was born in Kiev. So
Oh.
little yukiness.
Okay.
Or as they say it now, Kiev. I don't know where that came from. They switched up words on us.
I always say Kiev by accident.
I always thought it was
I
Kiev.
just roll
So
with
did
it.
I.
That sounds more official.
After the war started, they started changing the words.
Kiev.
Maybe because Russia says Kiev.
I don't know.
I don't know. You
And
should
then-
know that. You should ask Baba.
Did
She
you
might
do
know.
the 23andMe or one of those DNA tests? Like you know
No,
exactly where your lineage is from?
You know me. I don't believe in that, but my brother did. So he sold out my DNA.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. He gave it out already.
Yeah,
He
like
leaked it.
they should have to pay for the cost of the whole family. Like if I
Yeah.
have 7 siblings. I don't know if I've said that before. Have I said that?
I don't
I don't know.
I have 7 siblings. I'm one of 8. All
Easy to find.
yeah, like all from the same group of family. My 2 parents, right? Like it's not
The same what are you talking about?
It's not a Brady Bunch
it's that, so I was gonna
situation.
say, we're not a Brady Bunch situation. And if they want to get the DNA of all 8 of us, or I guess you could even go all 10 of us with my parents, although it's probably not perfectly accurate because we're a mixture of them, they should have to pay a premium. You're telling me my brother gave away the DNA of all 8 of us for free?
Yeah, he just sold you guys out.
That's crazy. That
So-
seems like a bad move.
So, like, from his information, did you gather anything new about the family, or it's everything you knew already?
My dad's family is Polish Ukrainian, just a good mix of the Eastern Bloc. My mother's family were super English, Dutch, German. That whole we came over on the Mayflower on my
Cool.
mom's side. Yeah, I'm a heritage American.
Yeah, I
550
think my
years.
family did too.
They might have been on
Maybe
the
we're
boat together.
related. Yeah.
Whoa, and you're dating my sister now, so that should be like
Yeah, that's not good.
The wedding's
We gotta
coming
do
up
the
soon.
test.
Counting
It
down
is.
days.
But I got to do this test now before that.
all
Make
right.
sure.
So say you did the test, and the DNA came back close enough that they were like, can't do it. What are you doing in that situation?
I don't know. We were just talking about this last night, actually. Like people like dating their second cousins and
yeah, it's
stuff.
weird.
I'm like,
It's weird.
what's
Well, you said you're
What's the
down with
distance?
that, though, right? It was
Well,
like
maybe-
first cousin is the cutoff.
first cousin? Yeah, that's no good.
Well, is
second
it-
cousin.
Isn't second cousin just the generational gap? Like when it goes to first, second, third, it's like, okay, my dad's cousin is my second cousin.
I don't.
I think the once removed is where you get into
The once removed it's like your cousin's kid. I think
Yeah.
it'd be like your first cousin once removed is your cousin's child.
So hey everybody,
Maybe you should check it. You guys should do some research on this.
A second cousin is a child of a first cousin. So my cousin's
really?
kid
Wow.
would be my second.
So you don't want to
awesome.
marry your
Okay,
cousin's kid. It's
Wait,
weird.
so what's a first cousin once removed then?
Now you're just tripping me out.
That's
It's wild because I'm always thinking about these things. I actually don't know.
I know. This is
Removed is like a grand and a great, but with cousins. Once removed means a difference of one generation.
That's
Twice removed
okay.
means a difference of 2 generations, and so forth.
So
Okay.
that's what you just said for.
Then what is it?
It's the same thing. So second cousin and first cousin once removed is the same thing.
Okay.
One more question.
Oh.
What's a third cousin then?
It's the same thing.
It'd be like Tolik's cousin.
To me.
Yeah, it's your third cousin.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
It's so far apart.
Well, the more you learn from this guys, when you come on this podcast and you
hope-
turn
I
this
hope
on in your
someone
car,
learned that.
you're learning all about who you're allowed to marry.
Well, I think
the
it's
rules
legal
are.
to marry your second cousin.
I
think it's-
in
I
some
think
states.
it's legal to marry your sister in some states, isn't
I
it?
think it's more. I would assume it's legal to marry your cousin, your first cousin.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
So in all U.S. states, it's legal to marry your second cousin.
Oh my
That's so
gosh,
weird.
that's so weird. People are doing that?
Let's see. What states can you? I don't think first cousin's allowed.
Oh god.
Are we losing listeners right now?
You're going to be put on some list from Googling all
Okay.
this.
Which states can you marry your first cousin? There's a lot of them.
New Jersey's right there.
New Jersey's on the list.
No, we're not.
Stop.
I gotta confirm this.
Is this a new clip? This is a clip right here, Jim.
Can I marry my first cousin in NJ?
That's crazy.
Yes, first cousins can legally marry in New Jersey.
Oh,
New
no.
Jersey law allows for marriage between first cousins. However, there are restrictions on marrying more closely related family members, such as parents, siblings, or children.
Well, I would hope that you would want to marry your parents.
Ban.
Gosh.
Did you guys know that about New Jersey?
No, did not.
I did not know that. Oh, but who's doing that?
And you know what the funny thing is, guys? Because here's the thing. We make fun of all the Southern, the Hicks are marrying their cousins. There is not a Southern state on this list. It is...
What's the list?
It's Colorado, Connecticut, California, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York. Well, South Carolina is the south as it goes. Then it's Rhode Island and Vermont and Tennessee.
Thought of the Northeast.
It's all...
Tennessee.
Tennessee is like mid-south. I don't know. It's like it's more like the southern part of the Midwest, I
It's
feel
like
like.
the Bible Belt.
It's a very interesting list. I never knew this was legal.
It's illegal if you're in...
Do one more search. Can you marry... In what state can you marry your parent?
Oh, my gosh.
It can't be a
You
thing,
gotta delete
right?
your search history after this.
Wait until the ads start popping.
You know what's funny? It's not on internet that Josh Tubbo pays for right now. So it's whoever the
that's
internet
true.
Oh,
They're
it's
gonna think
Jordan.
it's me looking it up.
Well, now I'm on a weird Wikipedia page that says the legality of incest in the United States.
Oh,
So I think we should just curb it here and move on.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to... I think it's weird. I mean...
This all came from a T-shirt conversation. I brought up the T-shirts.
They
now
look
we ended up
similar.
here. Yes.
They look similar. He's dating
well,
my
I don't
sister.
think so, but
I don't know. So, hey, everybody, welcome back. These are minutes of your life you're never getting back. You're here because you just want... You want to numb your brain on your drive to work. You want to hang out with some guys that are just here to have a good time. That's what this is about. We're having a good time, learning about New Jersey, making friends along the way. And
I want to crash a wedding.
what does that have to do with
No,
that?
because like, you're bringing up like how we're wasting people. I'm just thinking like if a listener is getting married, they should be like, "Yo, guys, come through to our wedding."
But that's not crashing a wedding. If they're telling you to come to
Yeah, I think
our
you have to
wedding.
not be.
But like just showing up like casually, like
Well,
where you
yeah,
don't
just
get an
tell us the
invite.
date, but
We just
don't
want to like
invite.
hang out. Wouldn't that be so fun?
I'd go to. I think I would definitely attempt. Depending on our schedules, I would attempt to make it to a wedding if it was close enough.
Listen, I did this one time with Nate. We did that thing for a fan of his, like where we went to their
Yeah.
wedding, and it was awesome being in a wedding with lots of good food and not knowing anyone because we just walked around, ate food, and just chilled.
How long did you stay for?
Ceremony, cocktail hour, dipped.
Sick. That's
Perfect, right?
That's good
I
wedding.
never want to stay past the cocktail hour.
No, I want to eat a slice of cake and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like I hate how cake takes so long to come out because really I'm there for the cake.
Take,
That's
note,
like the
take notes, Jordan.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
Jordan,
writing
get
this
the
down.
cake out before the dinner and then I'll be gone. So,
Clear you out.
but hey guys, let's. It's so good to be back here. We are a little all over the place this week, which is allowed. It's our podcast. We can do what we want to do. There's no rules set in place here.
Never,
right?
No.
never on this podcast.
But I will say it should be on point. We should talk about New Jersey at least at some point. We did.
We did, the
incest
cousins.
thing. Okay,
Yeah.
good. You know, I don't know. It's such a weird topic. I don't want to go back into
I just
that.
can't believe it's legal in Jersey. That's crazy.
Yeah, you would think.
Sad.
No more making fun of. Hey, Alabama marrying your cousin. Well,
Yeah.
actually, it's New Jersey.
It's
So
us.
let's do a little weekend recap. Talk about our weekends. You guys did something really cool this weekend that the listeners are going to want to hear about.
One of the coolest weekends in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell what happened Saturday morning.
We woke up at 4:30 in the morning.
That early?
Yeah.
We had to get there early.
Yeah.
Why that early?
Because
The implosion was at 7:30, and we knew like Route 17 was getting closed, and there was gonna be tons of people there. So we were. So continue, Jimmy. And I'll say what I was gonna say.
yeah, met at Josh's at 5, drove up there, and then you could take it from there.
Yeah, we were going to Mahwah, New Jersey, to watch the implosion of the Sheraton Hotel.
Cool.
And because I've never seen an implosion in person before, have you guys?
No,
have not.
never.
Okay, so yeah, we got there at 6 a.m. before Route 17 was shut down. We got the last spot in the Sunoco parking lot.
Nice.
After getting kicked out of the first Sunoco we tried going to, this guy was a complete jerk to us. Oh my gosh. He saw me walking up to him to ask him a question. He's like, what did he say, Jim?
He's like, nope.
He's like, nice try, bud.
Yeah, nice try,
try.
bud.
I was like, I'm just here to ask you a question, sir. I'm not trying to sneak
Was he
past
like an
you.
old guy?
Yes. Like
Which Sunoco was this?
hard
Let's
head.
give him a shout out right now.
No, he worked for emergency management. He didn't work
Yeah,
at Sunoco.
the guy at the gas station was actually like asking us if we were there to watch it, and he was like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then the emergency
yeah,
management
emergency
guy
management was in
was
charge.
like, "Oh, get
What's,
out of here."
what's emergency management?
So
I don't even
OEM came into place, I think, after 9/11. So all towns now have an Office of Emergency Management, and
Every town has it?
I think so.
Wow.
I think in New Jersey, most towns do anyway.
That was in Mahwah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's find out who this guy is right now. Let's do a little doxing. Oh, here he is.
That's going to take so long. Josh, you clicked on the first name.
That's him.
No. Josh, there's probably so
nothing
many
like
people. Anyway,
Here you go. I got him right here. This guy.
Yeah,
Josh,
that's him.
we go on all these random tangents because you, not us.
All right, go back. Sorry.
So
Keep
yeah,
going.
we got kicked out of the first one. We went across the street, got a good spot, last spot in the parking lot.
I think probably a better view
Yeah.
across
It
the
definitely
street.
was.
And yeah, we shot it with the drone, shot it with our camera, and I've
was
never
crazy.
witnessed an implosion. The ground shook. It was so loud.
Did you feel
the
it?
build
Yeah,
up? The
you felt
build up,
it.
like waiting for 7:30 to hit. Like everyone got quiet at 7:30, just waiting.
Well, the craziest thing for me, I don't know if you guys had the same thought in your head, but when the first explosions went off and then the building just kind of shook a little, and I was like, oh, did they not like use enough explosives? Is this thing just going to stay there?
Because it was delayed.
And then all of a sudden it was like, and it all came down.
What? So the delay. How was it delayed though?
So if you watch the video, you'll see 10 booms, 10 big booms.
5 big booms.
And then it's like, it was pretty like boom, 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 boom. And
And then it was like,
and so yeah, then you have the break. So I guess like after the explosives go off, like with the buildings,
Well,
like
I think
it
there's
slowly
like I think
crumbles.
there's
like
like 2 rounds of it.
I think it's like trigger explosive. So that
Yeah.
one's like triggers the rest
So
of
there's
it.
like internal ones that you're not going to see, or it's like the building is super weak, and all of a sudden the last ones just take everything out.
Double chunk chocolate
Right.
chip cookie.
It was like so amazing though, watching this thing come down. Like with this, it was so loud. I couldn't
surreal.
believe it. It's like you don't ever see a building fall like that, and it was a really cool experience. And there was people who traveled from out of state to like go to this thing.
Yeah, there's people
Really?
who follow around implosions. This one guy that we talked to, was like, this is my 11th implosion. He was
So cool.
He was so stoked about it.
I love people, man.
He was like,
people are awesome.
If you got a hoodie in your car, you got to put it over the vents because all the dust is going to come this way.
Oh, this
And
guy
then
had
it's-
so many stories.
He had
What a
so many
character.
tips.
oh man,
And then he's like, there's a movie camera sitting right in that balcony over there. It's going to get the best view of the whole thing.
oh my god.
Yeah, so a lot of characters at this place. A lot of the community came out, and it was a really beautiful time. It felt like 4th of July, like everyone waiting for the fireworks to go off.
Yeah.
Everyone was crowded around the highway. At one point, when Route 17 was closed, everyone just mobbed the highway and trying to get a better spot. Then there was only one cop on our side who had to kick
Poor
everyone
guy.
out.
Yeah, I felt bad for that dude. He's dealing with like hundreds of people by himself.
Yeah, but everyone listened. Everyone was respectful, so that was cool.
when they all ran into
Well,
the
there's
highway.
also like cars coming on the highway, so I think they got
Yeah, it was
the
dangerous.
memo.
You know, you're not supposed to be doing that. So it was an amazing experience. Now I can't wait for another implosion. Like, what would the next building implosion in Jersey be? Like, I guess something else in Atlantic City?
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't there one last year?
There was supposed to be one at Glen Rock in Nabisco.
And
Like
that
a few
didn't
years
happen?
ago, but the community all complained about
Oh,
it.
no way.
Like the neighbors, we talked about it in our first year of the pod. Like the people were scared about like all the pollution.
Oh.
So now that building stands vacant still 3 years later.
That's
It's an
crazy.
eyesore just because the locals didn't want an implosion that would have lasted 3 seconds, and that building would have
is
been gone
wild.
completely. These things are so quick.
We should push for it to get imploded now.
It's
just
already
for
pretty
footage.
ripped apart. Like if you're from that area, you know what the Nabisco factory looks like right now. It's just an eyesore. So it's sad, but I would love to go to another implosion. Josh, you need to go experience it with it next time.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to.
And we were home by like 10 with our video posted and everything. No, we
Yeah.
were home by like 9.
Yeah, because I went
Yeah.
to Cranford's Best, got
Yeah.
some bagels.
This is great.
I got a great jalapeno bagel.
We gained like 20,000 followers this weekend.
It was
on
nuts.
Instagram.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
The
That
videos
video
blew
popped.
up.
It was very,
We
very,
did it, boys.
very good for the
That was the
brand.
goal.
We beat the media.
I guess you go blow up another building and get some clips out of it. What
I
if we
was
start
like-
staging viral events? I think we could do that, you know?
And make it happen.
Yeah. But what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying the company that does the implosion, like I shared the link with you guys, and they've done like so many legendary buildings throughout the years. Like they're all throughout the country. Like they did the big Tropicana one in Las Vegas,
Yeah.
like a few years ago. And
I saw them. They did the
it
bridge.
just blows my mind how like these engineers, like they planned it so perfectly where they know exactly where the building needs to collapse and what supports need to go.
Yeah.
And it's so organized that this giant structure just falls in one place.
Yeah.
And doesn't like take out anything else. It's so impressive.
How do you get that job?
It's a great job.
That's a cool job.
Yeah, I wonder how much money you make being an imploder.
Well, if you're flying all over the country, it's probably a really niche business to own. And they
Definitely
probably
is.
fly in for 2 days, blow up the building.
It's
get
probably
out.
longer because like you're setting up the building way beforehand too. There's probably such a long setup process, I would imagine.
And like a long planning process. where
Pretty
they-
cool.
Like this thing kept getting pushed off every time like we found
Yeah.
a date. It was like pushed up a week. I didn't think it was ever gonna happen. So yeah, very cool experience. Josh, what did you do this weekend?
Saturday, I just hung with the fam and was up in Morris County a bit, which was nice. Sunday
Fun day.
was Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother's Day, yes.
So we went to the farmer's market, had a nice breakfast, hung out with family, and it was just good low-key sort of weekend.
It was a chill day. It was good weather too. It was beautiful on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday was a good Mother's Day. It was really prime sort of Mother's Day weather.
I got to spend it in Hoboken with my mama.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Hoboken's fun.
Got to walk around Hoboken, see all the people out near the water, all the city folk. I was like, I can't live in Hoboken. Shout out Hoboken though.
Did you guys do anything on Sunday, Jim or Jordan?
I just spent Mother's Day with my mother.
Predictable.
Took her out to lunch. Did some chores for her.
Wow.
Typical.
Chore is such a funny word. I'm doing too many tangents today. We'll keep it moving, but you got the chores done. I like that. Okay.
It is a funny word.
Hey guys, why don't we dive into the mailbag? We got some really good ones this week, but before we do, let's do a New Jersey Transit update because we have a really interesting announcement for you guys. We originally, for tonight's episode, had scheduled an interview with Tom Haas, the head. What's his actual title?
He's the chairman of the board, chairman of the
The general chairman of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers of Trains, BLET.
Yeah. There's
So he's the
tea in
guy
there.
he's the guy that's negotiating right now with NJ Transit, and he was going to call into the podcast. He wanted to call in. So
locomotive engineer at New Jersey Transit, general chairman, VLET.
And so he was going to call in, and then
It wasn't even us like trying though. Like all his guys were like hitting us up on DMs. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, Tom wants to call in. Tom wants to call in. We're like, oh, I was messaging like 5 different people this week. All the same thing. I was like, all right, we're recording 7:30 Thursday. Have him call in, and then I just tried confirming with them like an hour ago, and they're like, he's actually in meetings because we're 5 hours away from the deadline.
Yeah, like it's happening tonight. So listeners in the morning, when you're listening to this, the NJ Transit strike is either in effect or they've resolved it.
Yeah, which is crazy. Because as of right now, which it's 7:40 p.m. on Thursday night, they're still negotiating. There hasn't been a settlement yet. So
My guess is they're going to resolve it.
Tonight.
Yeah, the last
the last
hour.
second.
Yeah.
But it's also the weekend, so I feel like it's gonna a strike will happen, but it'll be get resolved by like Saturday.
And that's another good point. That's
Yeah,
possible.
That's like I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I mean, they timed it nicely.
And then
where
by
they're gonna have-
Monday,
they're
it'll be
yeah, by
fine.
Monday morning or by Tuesday when everybody's actually in need. But that was the big update. Is we were going to open this episode with an epic interview with this guy Tom, and it didn't actually pan out. So we'll give you an update when we have it on New Jersey Transit.
Yeah, because our guys said due to ongoing. This is what they wrote back to us: due to ongoing negotiations to try to resolve the contract. Like we're talking about the guy in charge of this whole thing. He will be in meetings all evening with New Jersey Transit, so we will have to postpone the call. We will update you immediately when we have more information and availability, especially if we cannot get to a resolve tonight. Thank you. So,
Sweet.
I mean, like, I would love to talk to them, ask them, like, guys, let's make this happen. Like, this would be great because a lot of people are going to be. What did they say, Josh? I think 300,000 people are affected by this.
600,000 people take the trains every day. They said they have supplemental busing for 120,000 of those people. So it was going to be a number like, and that's if those people take the bus.
Yeah.
So 480,000 people.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they got a lot of power, these locomotive engineer brothers.
So if you're listening to this podcast first thing Friday morning, definitely do a quick Google search on New Jersey Transit to get your up-to-date news about it, because obviously we're recording this the day before. So we'll post something on our Insta. I think Josh and I are going to go to the train station tomorrow, interview some folks.
Yeah, maybe why not in the morning before.
If it happens,
early,
yeah.
Get a bagel. You know what the thing is with unions? It's pretty cool. It's always a brotherhood.
Gotta love
And
a brotherhood.
that's what's been lost from our culture is deep social ties. When you're at work, you're like, we're a brotherhood. We're in this together.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Like the cops, they're like the brotherhood of whatever. If there's a whatever their fraternal order is. Like
It is a fraternity, right? That's basically what it is.
well, no, it's like the fraternal order of
Yeah, isn't it fraternal order
PBA.
of police?
Police.
yeah. So it's like it's a brotherhood of dudes getting work done.
I mean, can we just be a brotherhood for the Garden State?
Yeah, we should start a union, guys. Why don't we unionize against the boss?
Jimmy?
Sure.
Jimmy is the boss.
Jimmy's our
He gave us
boss.
permission.
Jimmy actually runs the entire company.
Will we get union benefits if that happens? A nice little pension plan going here would be nice.
I just want to say we're a brotherhood. That would be awesome.
We should make
We
fake,
can't say it until we
fake
unionize.
union hoodies that are like the brotherhood of local podcasters, and it's just like
Oh, bro, that'd
That
be
actually
cool.
would be really cool.
Some custom merch,
design.
not for sale anywhere else.
is there a union for podcasters? Do you think?
No.
Because who are you unionizing
There's
against?
there's podcast networks, but there's not like podcast unions.
No, the iHeart Podcast Union.
Oh.
What?
There's
Look at that.
there's the Writers Guild, right? The
Yes,
Screen
we know
Actors
that.
Guild of America. And then there's the Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA.
Yep.
So that's radio, and I mean maybe they're trying to scoop. It sounds like they're getting podcasters in there, so maybe we need to join.
That's
Get some better
interesting.
benefits around here.
If we can make some more money, I'm down to negotiate.
Maybe we'll talk about it. Hey, so why don't we go into the mailbag? Josh, what is the number these individuals at home need to call into if they want to make this thing happen?
These individuals, you mean our family?
Our family, the brotherhood and sisterhood
brotherhood
of Garden
of
State
Garden.
listeners.
Yes, there's a number to call in. We would love for you guys to call into the mailbag. We love hearing from you, and that number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Sorry, I had to do it.
What the heck was that?
Okay,
It's called
okay,
a harmony.
Okay, I have to confess that when I'm editing this, I just do that naturally.
You just harmonize?
I harmonize with everything. It's just too good.
You sound like
I
the
should add
lady-
my voice to that recording and every week add a harmony to it.
You sound like the lady that sits 2 rows ahead of me in church and just always has the.
that was honestly
harmonize.
beautiful,
It
though.
was good.
That was pretty good.
I know how to harmonize, fellas.
It's like it was like a falsetto though. It was a little bit of a.
Yeah, I change it up a little
Like you
bit.
rippled a little
Every
bit.
time is different.
I like that.
Yeah, so call into the mailbag. That's the number.
So this is the mayor of Roselle Park, and I'm on vacation on a beach right now at an undisclosed location. And my little brother listens to your guys' podcast, and he's like, dude, I listen to this podcast, and these guys are shitting on you for not showing up at the car wash opening. So I just want to say I apologize on behalf of the borough of Roselle Park that I said a pitch hitter. I want to also say that, you know, Roselle Park is more than just AAA baseball team. You know, we're at least like a bad major league team. Anyway, I always go to these grand openings. I one of the few that I actually missed, and it's so funny that you guys caught me. Anyway, whatever. You got to see the Rutgers mascot. You guys have a really funny podcast. I think my buddy Joe, actually, Boxcar, was on you guys recently. So, have me on sometime. Happy to chop it up. And next time you guys are at a grand opening in Roselle Park, I'll be happy to be there.
Yes.
All right, later.
I love it. I love it. Well, what are the odds that happens?
That's hilarious.
That's
What's his name?
hilarious.
This is. I think this is Joseph Signorello.
That's the current mayor.
Signorello.
Did he say his name in the call?
No, he just said
Said the mayor.
He said, this is the mayor
This
of
is the
Roselle
mayor.
Park. All right, so I got to take a step back here for a second because now
We have mayors calling into the pod.
when this call came through, I was working around my house, and I get sometimes when the mailbags come through, it pops up on my phone, and I see this, and I'm like, "There's no way I just read that right. There's no way I talked all this trash about the mayor of Roselle Park and he heard it. And it just made me think. I texted you guys. I'm like, guys, do you see it? Look at this message. And Jimmy was laughing. And I was like, the thing with this podcast is we have moments where it feels like there's a lot of reach and there's moments where it feels like nobody's listening to us.
Yeah.
So we get a little too comfortable. And then, we got shooters in the street calling us out. The mayor's clapping back at me a little bit, which I respect.
Well, I think what's great is he's laughing about it, and I also think you didn't say anything bad about him.
Well, I
think you were just like,
no,
he should have been there.
I said something a little insulting.
What did you say? I don't remember.
I said, you're the mayor of Roselle Park. You didn't show up to an opening of a car wash. They sent the backup. That's like going to a AAA baseball game, and they send out the backups. That's why he said we're better than a AAA baseball team.
That's awesome.
So, first off, I want to say that was pretty funny. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, I have a lot of love for Roselle Park. Once upon a time, I had a family member that was a cop in Roselle Park. Or was that Roselle? No, it was Roselle Park. Yeah, you got good pizza there. We talk about it all the time, right?
I would love to go to the Sun Tavern with this dude.
We should get a slice
Chop
with
it
him.
up.
Oh, we should.
Because the owners
1,000%.
of Sun Tavern love the pod too. No,
Okay.
This would be great.
This is what we need to do, Mr. Mayor. Let's go get the 1959, that pie we like?
No, that you're thinking Santillo's.
Wait, what's the specialty pie?
Old World Pie Vodka sauce.
The Old World. Yeah. And we get Old World with wings, meet up with the mayor, and let's make some suggestions for the town. Since now we got his ear.
Even though we have no idea about what's going on in Roselle
He
Park.
fell right into our trap, boys. This is exactly where we wanted him. But no, actually, in all seriousness.
More car washes.
No, thanks for calling in. Thanks for having a good sense of humor. I meant zero harm by what I said. I thought it was actually hilarious. It was just funny because they're like, the mayor did it. We were asking.
Because the whole time I was like, I want a photo of Josh for the video we made with
the mayor.
Team Car. I was like, I want a photo of Josh shaking the mayor's hand, cutting the ribbon.
Yeah.
Would be electric. And then when we found out the backup was coming, we were so bummed out, man. We're like, we just want to meet a mayor today.
I'm gonna say he's a great politician because he laughed at a low blow.
Yeah,
he let it let it roll off his shoulder.
He probably thought missing this grand opening meant nothing to no one, and then he hears us talking about how we're so bummed that he never showed up. This is a big deal for us, man.
Can you imagine from his perspective? Because every now and again we have things in life where we're like, I'm not gonna make it. It's all right. Nobody's gonna know. There's certain things you can cut out of.
Yeah.
Like there's like a birthday party from a friend of a friend. You're like, I don't gotta be there. It's fine. God forbid you miss the one grand opening of a car wash where a bunch of guys with a podcast are there looking for you, and then they trash you. They trash you the next week. So
the Rutgers mascot, no one cares. The mayor of the town, yes, that's the person we want to talk to.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. We appreciate your sense of humor.
That call was awesome.
And we'll figure out off the air. We'll figure out a little pizza date, and we can talk politics. We can get into the
Seriously,
politics.
Yeah, message us. Let's go. We'll make it happen.
All right, so should we do another mailbag here?
Yes, sir.
Should we keep it going? For this one, we got a call from somebody that wants us to call him. So I'm going to play the voicemail, then we're going to try to give this guy a call. You ready?
See if he answers.
There we go.
Hey, Garden State. My name is Scott. I'm a retired air traffic controller from North Tower. If you guys would like some more information, I'd be happy to provide that for you. My phone number here, area code. Hope to talk to you later.
This guy doesn't know we're calling him, so hopefully he answers.
Let's see.
Oh, boy. It's always nerve-wracking.
Hello?
Hey, is this Scott?
Who's this?
This is Josh and Josh from the Garden State.
You called us.
Oh, hi. It's the Garden State podcast calling.
Can you talk for 5 minutes?
Hi, how are you?
Is now an okay time for 5 minutes to talk?
Sure, 5 minutes. You got it.
You're on the podcast with us right now.
You guys need.
Listen, we just played your voicemail in the middle of the podcast, and we're like, we never do this. Let's call him and see if we can get some information from him. So you worked at the Newark Airport Tower as an air traffic controller. We heard that correctly, right?
Is this like live on the air right now?
It's not live. It'll go live
tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow, so we can cut anything out if there's something you don't want in it.
Okay. Well, I mean, what questions do you guys have? I listen to your podcast all the time. Great podcast,
Thank
by
you.
the way. Really enjoy listening to you guys. So just some of the things that have been going on that's been so skewed through, media and whatnot is that the Newark Tower itself is fine. Yes, are they short-staffed? They're getting there, okay? The tower itself, the men and women that are looking out the window, that are using, the tower, that's fine. That's been staffed. Yeah, it's short-staffed. They've been working 6-day work weeks. But the problem is what happened is that they took the radar sector, which used to be on Long Island, and they moved it to Philadelphia. And they literally took out the radar screens, they placed it in Philadelphia in hopes that they would draw more people towards that radar sector because nobody wants to live on Long Island, face it.
Wow.
Nothing against people on Long Island, but this is what happened. So when they moved it there, now you're using copper wires that are not maintained anymore, and you're using more bandwidth that is going into the building that can accept it. So this is why you're having these blackouts. This is why you're having these frequency problems. And this is why you have to numb down the traffic, because now you don't have the staffing over there as far as the number of controllers.
That's incredibly interesting.
So that's what's the brunt of it all. That's what's going on as far as the staffing that you hear about. Now, in order to hire more people, yes, it sounds great and it looks great on paper. Hey, we hired all these people, but it takes years to get fully certified to work in a sector like that. This sector is probably one of the busiest sectors on the planet right now. And it takes years to get certified. And that's what the whole key is to get certified. So that's where it's all coming about, where the staffing levels at the tower, yes, they're starting to deplete. They're getting more people slowly, but not fast enough. But it's the radar sector that's really, really taking a hit. Now, with these blank scopes that are going out and the frequencies that are going out, think about it. You're a controller. You're responsible for the men and women on those airplanes, and you're blank, and your screen goes blank. And then what happens is that your frequencies go out. So now you can't see, now you can't talk, and now you can't even do anything but hope that the screen comes back on. So you take trauma leave because it scares the hell out of you.
But why now? Like, why is it happening now, like back-to-back weeks? And then it hasn't happened for years before this. Is it just, does it come down to the copper wire thing, or is it something else?
And when did that actually happen? Was that recent that they moved to Philadelphia?
Right. This transition happened back in July of 2024.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And there was, if you look back on the internet, you'll see there's a lot of things that are going on that we don't want to go, and they're throwing in all kinds of incentive money, and we still want to go. So they made the move happen. The move happened because it was hopes that people would just gravitate towards the Philadelphia area. It has nothing to do with Philadelphia's airspace. It's still Newark's airspace. It's just where the controllers are sitting. So no one wants to move out to Long Island, so they moved it to Philadelphia in hopes that years down the road they would increase the staffing levels to draw more people because of the money, you know. So
can I ask you this? I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I just ask you, for these air traffic controllers in Philly, so they're looking at a screen? Are they looking at, is there live stream footage? Do you not even need footage as an air traffic controller? What is that like for them?
So the Philly, I should say the Newark sector radar controllers are in a windowless room. They don't know if it's raining out, snowing out, or sunny out. So they're in a dark room. They're looking at radar, and they're strictly using radar, and they're passing you from sector to sector, higher and higher and higher through the altitudes and along the route, or lower and lower and lower as you get towards the airport. Once you get about 10 miles out, then you hand it off to the tower. The tower will now take control of you. The tower also has radar screens because when the weather is bad, we can't see out the window. We have to utilize our radar. So we have to have certain mileage behind separation behind each aircraft and whatnot. What was happening is that the delays were going through the roof, the departure delays, because when the transition happened, it happened, and they go, hey, wait a minute. We need to slow everything down. Okay. So we need 5 miles behind every single departure out of Newark. Okay, now, as a controller, you're going, oh, my God. So think about this. You have about 20 airplanes lined up at the runway. You say cleared for takeoff. The next time you can say cleared for takeoff is probably about a minute and about 2 minutes, because you need 5 miles behind everybody. So once the airplane gets 2.5 miles ahead, you can say cleared for takeoff to the next aircraft.
That's an immense amount of power.
Everything up so quick.
I was going to say, that's like an immense amount of power and an immense weight on your shoulder. I mean, like, do you ever hear of air traffic controllers like losing their mind a little bit? I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm thinking of, we talked about last week, the Breaking Bad in pop culture, the air traffic controller makes a mistake and it goes horribly bad. Is there a lot of stress on you doing this job, or is this like you just get used to it and it's business as usual at a certain point?
No. Here's the problem, is that you train to have a rhythm. You train to have a cadence. Okay? And when you break that cadence because of restriction, and you break that rhythm because of restriction, now you get more amplified, you get more heightened, because now you have to be extra vigilant because you broke that cadence. You broke that rhythm because you're not used to waiting for aircraft to go 5 miles. And as a controller, you want to make sure you get these airplanes out and minimize delays as much as possible. Of course, keeping safety in concern.
Yeah, totally
But
makes sense.
that's where it becomes stressful because your cadence is broken. It's almost like an officer being on the job, knowing that the officer's gun is to the right. Now you switch it to the left. All your muscle memory, all your mechanics have changed because your cadence has changed, and that's stressful. When you want to rely back on your training, when you want to go back to the core roots of your training, you can't sometimes because of these restrictions.
Totally makes sense. Well, I promised you 5 minutes. That we did 7. That was actually very, very insightful. The last thing I want to ask you before we let you go is, so for the young people coming up, maybe someone listening to our podcast that's going to college, would you recommend air traffic controlling as a career right now to someone looking to get into it?
Absolutely, 100%. But just make sure that you want to do this job and that you're doing the job because you want to work in an industry that's, safety driven. You want to work in an industry that's going to motivate you. Don't go after the money first. Go after that first.
Got it.
Money comes in because you got to want to do this job. This job is demanding. This job involves shift work where you're going to miss your best friend's sister's boyfriend's girlfriend's party that you always go to on the 4th of July. You're going to miss Christmas. You're going to miss time with your family. You're going to miss your daughter's softball games. Yes, there is that stress, external stress that's involved that comes in with the job. But it's a great job. It really, really is. And they're going to need a ton of people. And just go on the website or go on Google and type in, what does it take to be an air traffic controller? And you're going to see millions and millions of videos that are out there. It's a great job, and we need a lot of people.
Awesome. Well, Scott, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the call out of the blue. Sorry for doing that to you. Thanks for being a good sport about it. And
that was very informing.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
awesome.
Scott.
That was excellent. So appreciate it.
Okay. I hope, I mean, that's what I want to do is inform. And I know sometimes when people look like, I'm seeing comments on social media like,
don't read those. Never read those, Scott. They're the worst. People are out of their minds.
Yeah,
we can't even read our own
there's
comments.
One control in the tower. No. There's not one control in the tower. The men and women that do this job every single day do it 100%. And 100% of committed to safety. And I've been in the industry for 25 years, and that it's just ingrained into your head. They are committed to 100% of safety. And when your cadence is broken, when you restrict it and you can't run traffic and it's beginning to get a little squirrely, that's where things start, that's why you see all the stuff that's blowing up on social media, and that's why you see stuff in the news like this.
Got it. Well, thank you so much, Scott. And this will be in tomorrow's episode, so keep an ear out, and we appreciate you talking to us.
Okay, guys. Have a great day. Take care.
You too. Bye.
That was awesome.
That was great.
We definitely interrupted his dinner. It's like it's the Garden State guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. I will say, the way he communicated, I could tell he was an air traffic controller. Very, very
I was gonna say, I
direct
love
and to the
like
point.
how clearly he spoke.
Very clear communicator.
Yeah, dude, that was cool.
Which is important.
That's the first thing I noticed.
I should have asked him to do one of his how they did
reading.
Do a read for me of like Delta 19er. Like, how do they do that?
Yeah,
they do like that. Clear for takeoff. By the way, there's a fly in our studio.
Yeah,
we gotta kill this thing. It was so distracting.
It's a big. There it is. It's a big fly.
He showed up with the lights.
Oh, and also
He's over there.
And also, Ralph walked in during the call. What's up, baby?
Have a seat, Ralph.
Did Ralph
Welcome
let
to the
the
new
fly
studio.
in?
Ralph definitely let the fly in
Wait, I got a fly swatter.
because it wasn't here before.
Should I go grab?
Back on the pod. Great call from Scott. Thank you, Scott, for your time. I'm so mad I didn't get him to do a little call sign for us.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
Could you clear me for landing right now at Newark Airport?
Scott, call into the mailbag this week, and can you just give us like a quick 10-second read?
Garden State. So GS, what's the number?
GSP.
GS
732.
GS 908 is cleared for landing at Newark Airport. What would you say to me, the pilot of the plane, since I'm the captain of the ship? I want to hear what he's going to say. He can call in.
Yeah, please call us, Scott.
All right. Well, thank you, Scott. Let's get into some of the news for the week. Let's see what's going on.
A lot of juicy stories this week.
There's some good news.
The juice is flowing.
This first story is dark. There's a lot of dark news in New Jersey. I say it every week. It feels like this whole podcast is sifting through horrible articles, going, what makes sense to talk about?
I mean, they are the biggest stories of the week.
Yeah.
And we can't control that.
So here's a crazy one. A teen escaped a New Jersey home where she was locked in a dog crate and abused by a couple for 7 years.
Huh? This is such a terrible, evil story.
People are crazy.
People are so out of their minds, bro. Very evil.
Yeah. So a teenager escaped from a New Jersey home where officials said she endured heinous years-long torture as she was allegedly kept chained up and locked in a dog crate by a couple that abused her for several years. Brenda Spencer, 38, and Brandon Mosley, 41, both Gloucester Township, were arrested and charged with kidnapping, aggravated assault, endangering the welfare of a child, and other offenses. Additionally, Mosley, who was a regional rail conductor with SEPTA, was also charged with sexual assault and other offenses.
Jeez.
An 18-year-old woman told police she escaped from the couple's home along the 300 block of Ridge Avenue in Blackwood in Gloucester Township with help from a neighbor on May 8th, 2025, after being held captive at the residence since 2018. The woman told investigators that the abuse began in 2018 when she was in 6th grade and Spencer removed her from school. Following her removal from school, the victim told investigators she was forced to live in a dog crate for approximately 1 year and was let out periodically, according to the Camden County Prosecutor's Office. My goodness.
Gets worse.
She was also forced to live in a padlocked bathroom while she was chained up, officials claim. Investigators who interviewed the victim said she still had scars on her wrists, according to the criminal complaint. Other times, police claim the victim was forced to live in a bare room where she had to use a bucket instead of a toilet. This room was rigged with an alarm system that would alert Spencer and Mosley if she attempted to escape.
Terrible.
So during her captivity, the woman said she was beaten with a belt and sexually abused by Mosley, according to the officials. So this is just
It's awful.
horrible.
But isn't it crazy? It's like, you're like, people who live near these homes, I always wonder, because it's like, don't they realize they haven't seen these children in years?
I was just thinking the same thing. Like,
Right?
imagine finding out this is going on at your neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think I would notice if I haven't seen the kids in a while, right?
Yeah. Or did it say, is it their biological kid?
I would
one of
assume
them?
not.
Or is it like a foster kid or something?
Well, it says that the victim had been removed from school at Spencer's discretion, and both she and the 18-year-old victim were allegedly being homeschooled. So that was the 13-year-old. There's a 13-year-old living there as well. It's a little foggy because they have different last names. It's a little confusing, the relation. Nonetheless, these people deserve the death penalty, in my opinion.
So there's another part. It said, or like another article I read about this, they took the 13-year-old out of school as well, obviously. So like nothing would get leaked in case the 13-year-old wanted to like rat out what the adults were doing in this home. But it said like they would only let her out of the room when like there were family parties or when they had friends over.
Oh my god.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Like you have to just play it like
Yeah,
everything's
and you're
normal, or else like you're gonna like get very beaten or something like that.
That's horrible. What's so weird is I feel like these stories are somewhat common.
No,
And
yeah, you hear about it more and more these days.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's
say
just
that on the
because like
pod.
you hear about every single one, but it's like it's weird. Like,
Did you hear the story out of
How many sick people
I think it
are-
was in Germany, or it was a different country. But like a couple, they just got arrested for like bringing their kids out now from like COVID.
I saw
like,
that.
captivity. Yeah,
yeah, that's.
isn't that
I feel
insane?
like there's probably way more people who. Have
And that's the
done
sad
something
thing,
Like
it's
that,
like-
that we just don't know about yet.
And obviously, you don't want to be a nosy neighbor, but like obviously, it's like if you know there's kids next door and you haven't seen them for years, like wouldn't you say something?
Yeah, it's like you see the parents, like, where are your kids?
Yeah.
Was she continually chained up, or was it like this was throughout the week and then they would take her out on Saturday so people would see her? 'Cause that
Well,
might have been.
I think it's like what I said. She was continually chained up unless they had family parties or friends over, and then she would be allowed out.
Imagine being one of the friends or family, like knowing you were in the house.
It's crazy.
Like, oh, I can't imagine that.
And like
They
she
probably
escaped
feel, like,
last
guilty.
week with the help of a neighbor. A neighbor helped her escape. So I wonder how it doesn't have any details about like how the neighbor was involved with this or how the
Yeah.
girl got out of the house. I wish there was. I was looking all over the place for it, but like, thank God for that neighbor who helped this
Yeah.
18-year-old out. So more details are going to come out in the story, but it's very, very sad. Just I'm thankful the girl's alive. Both the kids are alive, and hopefully she gets the help now that she needs. You know, you're in captivity from 6th grade to 18.
That's nuts.
You know, you're missing a big chunk out of your life right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, people that do this sort of thing need the harshest penalties. I say it every time. You hurt kids like that. I hope our state distributes justice. I don't have a lot of hope that they will, though.
There's almost no justice for something like that. Like, unless you do
Well,
that for the rest of their life. You put them in a dog cage
You
for the
put
rest
them
of
in
their
a
life.
cage, which is prison.
Put them in a smaller dog
Yeah,
cage.
but like literally like solitary
Beat them.
confinement.
Well, I think
It
people
should
that
be.
do this sort of thing to kids do not fare well in prison.
No.
Yeah.
So I think they'll get some level of
I mean, yeah, I hope it's a long time.
of
though.
justice. A child abuser that was locking a girl in a cage. I don't see that ending well when he goes to Rahway State Penitentiary. I don't know. I could be wrong. But nonetheless, sad story. Unfortunately, like you guys said, this stuff is always in the news. There's always some weird abuse stories, and there's just a lot of cuckoo people out there.
Yeah. Also, like the one big part of the story was like once they took the girl out of public school to be homeschooled, like when a child is homeschooled, like no one really checks in on you, right? Like, is it just like it's between you and your parents, right? Or is there like someone that actually checks in?
I was homeschooled. I mean,
That's what I'm asking.
We didn't have no, I mean, legally, I don't think you have to have like periodic check-ins.
I know, like nowadays, like there's a lot of homeschool groups and stuff like that. So like you're with other
Yeah.
people, but like I guess like no one from the actual public school system is questioning you if you take your kid into homeschooling.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think
Because in this case, it's like
it's kind of the point.
they
I think,
homeschooled
is
her and like no one ever talked to her ever again.
It's a weird thing all around. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder a lot of other things. I mean, I don't know. It makes you wonder, like, how does this happen for so long?
Yeah.
What was going on that this went on for so stinking long?
Yeah.
And nobody in the community
Or family or friends who came over to visit, like
doesn't make any
noticed anything.
sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It almost makes you think people are complicit because it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know.
Stuff like that pisses me off.
You know, I was never locked in a
terrible.
dog cage for the record since you brought up homeschooling.
Well, yeah, I don't think you
It
were.
was a cat cage. I'm kidding.
Cat Gary.
That's very small.
Yeah, I was 9.
If you think that's small, you should see a bird cage. Took Applejack.
Have
around
you seen
that.
some bird cages? They're massive.
That is true.
Oh, speaking of massive animals, because we're transitioning stories right now, this is not random. It is random, but massive animals brought it up. Remember I sent you guys the photo of the turtle, Moser?
Oh yeah.
Moser, the 14-year-old tortoise in Cranford, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
I got to do a story. I got to talk to the people and film it. But like, there's a 14-year-old tortoise lives in
that
the
would
front
go-
yard of a lawn, and they move his cage from different sides of the yard from time to time because he eats all the grass.
Wait, can you actually tomorrow ask if you film the turtle?
Yeah, sometime this weekend I'll go and try to film the
That's
turtle.
a viral video for
because
sure.
my mom told me about it because she walked by and she talked to the owner, but I want to talk to the owner. 14 years old. Tortoises live up to like over 100 years old, so this thing's still a baby and it's big and it's
This
growing.
thing's gonna outgrow its like.
And it's in like someone's front yard.
gonna-
I didn't know people had tortoises like that.
It's gonna outlive its owners here.
Isn't
Is
that-
it legal to have a tortoise in New Jersey?
I mean, if you could marry if it's legal to marry your first cousin, I'm pretty sure it's legal to have a tortoise.
That's
in
the
New Jersey.
hilarious part of New Jersey.
Right?
'Cause the amount of things that are illegal, but yet you can marry your first cousin. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Can't you not have a baby turtle, like a little turtle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have a baby.
Oh, yes, it is legal to own a tortoise in New Jersey, but you need a permit from the New Jersey Division of Fish and Wildlife.
Of course you do.
Wait,
Yeah.
can you have a
Communists.
baby turtle, or is that
I don't
like
think so.
an old wives' tale?
Wait, you can't have a baby? Oh, I heard about
thought
that.
You can't.
The little ones, they carry diseases. They used to not allow it.
But they
Yes.
sell them in pet shops, though.
It is generally legal to own a turtle in New Jersey, but
We've
with
talked
certain
about this before.
regulations. Yeah. You'll need an individual hobbyist permit.
Interesting.
Yeah, go through the state again. Everything's through this.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people
state.
breaking the law, and they have baby turtles in their house. I know it. I just know.
I used to have one.
I know.
I used to have a little guy.
So you should stop by and get a video of that turtle, Josh. But let's keep moving here. Talking about more illegal stuff going on in secrecy. So In Edison, New Jersey, a spa owner was busted with $600,000 stuffed inside a giant teddy bear during a prostitution raid.
What?
I'm just saying, since we started this podcast, there's been like 15 spas in Edison.
Yeah, can we just pause? Edison,
Bro,
what is
every
going
spa.
on? What is going on with the spas in Edison? We need to talk about this. There is a serious wave of bad spas in Edison.
It's like every
That
year
keep
there's
getting
like
cracked down on.
Every year it's another 5 spas that go down. Bro.
Who knew there were so
How
many
many-
spas in Edison
There's a
in
lot.
general?
How many are left?
Can I just say, we got to pause for a second because they had 600 G's in a teddy bear.
Yeah.
That's
How
awesome.
big is this teddy bear?
Must be one of the big ones.
Yeah, like you could actually fit inside of.
That's a heavy.
Have you ever seen $600,000? I was like, it's probably.
That's a lot.
It's a
A
lot
lot
of
of money.
cash.
Well, in hundreds.
I mean,
though.
if you had 600,000 to hide, don't you think the giant teddy bear would be a perfect hiding spot? No one's gonna look in it. No one's gonna rip it open.
Well, someone did.
Okay, think about one of those
Yeah, the
stacks
feds.
of $10,000 in hundreds is like this thick.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need what, 60 of those?
I guess.
So like you're
Wait,
talking.
was it all in hundreds
It's
though?
just
Who knows?
Probably all
I hope
singles.
so.
So how much was that big from Breaking Bad? The big like
That had to
pallet?
be millions, dude. Millions upon
Yeah, like
millions.
hundreds of millions
Yeah.
or something.
Because if you think about a pallet of $100 bills.
Remember when Huel lays back on top of it?
Yeah, it's
with
honestly-
Bill Burr, they're both just laying there.
that
let's go to
that was
Mexico.
millions of dollars because Walter White was loaded.
I think someone did the math. I feel like I watched a YouTube video
So
about
someone
it.
said estimated $80 million.
Makes sense.
So there you go. So let's get into
So
the
yeah,
article.
Addison, New Jersey. Tell us about this story, Josh.
The owner of an illicit New Jersey spa was busted on prostitution charges after police raided her racy business and home, seizing luxury goods, a Tesla, and a teddy bear stuffed with $600,000. Daniela Diano, 47, and 4 other women were arrested Thursday when cops stormed Bliss Spa in Edison in a coordinated takedown following a year-long undercover operation. The probe is also targeted at Diano's home, where detectives seized $650,000 in cash, including a hefty sum sewn shut inside a cuddly toy. Yeah, listen, here's the thing. Okay, so I get the prostitution part. Clearly bad. What's the crime with having 650 grand in a teddy bear?
It's all illegal.
You know where it came
It's
from.
dirty
You know where
money.
the- Yeah, you know where
How
the
do
money
they
came-
know that?
brother?
See, this is the thing.
why are you
Don't be
hiding it in a
defending
teddy
them
bear?
right now, Josh.
People got their own moves with their own money. Like maybe you want to put it in a teddy bear, maybe you put it under your mattress. I don't know. Like I know where the money came from. Okay, for the record, I'm playing devil's advocate. You don't know. I mean, maybe she won the lottery and was put in a teddy bear.
Could have. Hey,
I'm saying from a legal perspective, we jumped the gun. Don't they got to go through some due process here to figure out?
I feel like it, but it's like the same
It's
thing
evidence.
when they confiscate drugs. Like it's always like they're confiscating a bunch of money too.
Yeah, but drugs
Yeah.
are.
yeah, but so is prostitution.
Yeah. So how do we
So,
know
like,
if she had the spa?
How do you know what came from the drugs?
What percentage of the work was bad work and what percentage was good work? And then how do we know where that money broke down? I mean, you just can't take people's money.
Well, they said it was years long investigation.
Okay,
so
they
they
got a good-
definitely
they got a
been
good hook
counting.
here.
They've been seeing who's coming in and out of this spa. They know what's going down.
So
Ralph, I don't know if you've gone to any spas recently in Edison, but you might want to lay low, brother.
So she had a Tesla Model Y, a Rolex, and Cartier watches. Police said. Authorities also recovered an additional $104,373 from the spa owner's bank accounts, making it the largest asset seizure in the township history.
Let's go, Edison.
This lady was killing it with money.
Yeah,
My
man.
goodness. This operation is a direct result of the commitment and coordination between departments and agencies that have worked tirelessly to target and dismantle organized criminal enterprises operating under the guise of legitimate business. That was the Edison police chief. Can I ask a question?
Hit me.
What does one of these investigations entail?
Undercover officers going in for you know what,
So
right?
maybe that's why they're making so many of these busts. Maybe these cops are in on the whole thing.
I mean, you're going in undercover. You get a regular spa appointment, and then you get some more information while you're in there, and then you leave with that information.
Brother, I'm not convinced. I'm thinking that we got to talk to the Edison PD. If anyone want to call in, we'll deepen your voice and not say who
Distort
you
it.
are. But I got to say, I mean,
Because I've known like friends who are cops and they've had to go undercover doing certain busts and stuff. Like I feel like it happens all the time.
I've also heard rumors that cops tend to frequent places like this too. I don't know if anybody else has heard that
as
before.
We've seen
like-
Edison. There's like over 10 other spas that have been busted. Like there's so much organized crime going down.
It's like
It's crazy.
We're casting a wide net here. You know,
We
there's
are.
there's
It's
good
a
ones and
rumor, it's a
there's.
rumor.
But I will say, Edison PD, what's the deal? You know, you guys really seem to like finding out where these spas are located.
that's their.
But maybe if there was a conspiracy, they wouldn't be busting them.
Also, I don't know. It might be larger than Edison PD. It might also be like I don't know, some other organization looking into this.
The Edison police chief made a statement. He said the amount of cash seized and the elaborate concealment methods used to show just how sophisticated and profitable these illegal operations can be. We will continue our efforts to rid the community of these establishments. So there you go.
What was she charged with?
She was hit with first-degree money laundering, second-degree promoting organized street crime, third-degree promoting prostitution, and fourth-degree maintaining a house of prostitution, police said.
Wow.
She's being held at Middlesex County Adult Correction Center pending a detention hearing. So what do you think happens there? You think you get like a lot of jail time or fines or what?
I was just thinking about that in my head. I don't know what all those add up to, but it's got to be some jail time.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with the organized crime and then prostitution.
Okay, so first-degree money laundering is 10 to 20 years in prison, a fine of up to $200,000. So off the bat, we're not doing great. Second-degree promoting organized street crime, penalties 15 to 30 years in prison. Sentence must be served consecutively to underlying offense. Wow, so she could potentially get 10 years for the first one and 30 years for the second. Third degree promoting prostitution, 3 to 5 years in prison. And then fourth degree maintaining a house of prostitution, up to 18 months in prison. So we'll see. It sounds like she's going to jail for a long time.
Yeah, they'll
though.
add something up together for her. But like, there's also other people arrested too. So she wasn't the only one going down, but she was like the head of it.
Well, if you do New Jersey justice math, it'll be 3 months and a $20 fine.
Yeah,
She'll be
right.
back on the streets.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, yeah. All right, moving on to the next story here. Another crazy story. A huge New Jersey home explosion was ruled a murder-suicide after one body was found with a bullet to the head.
This was a shocking story on, I think, last Sunday morning because I woke up and I saw the story about this home explosion. So the first thing you think about is like a gas leak or something exploding at home. You know, it happens in Jersey. We see these stories from time to time. But right away, the investigators said that it's very suspicious and it wasn't a normal home explosion. And then a few days ago, this breaking news came out. That
It's also out of
suicide.
Gloucester County, where that other story was out of the dog cage story. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on down in Gloucester. We got to talk about that. But here's what the article says. The home explosion in South Jersey over the weekend has been ruled a murder-suicide, authorities confirmed Tuesday, May 13th. A male victim believed to be the tenant was found in the living room with a handgun nearby after officials extinguished the blaze at 13 Tranquility Court around 2 a.m. Sunday, May 11th. His death was ruled a suicide caused by fire. A female victim was located in a bedroom, and her death was ruled a homicide due to a gunshot wound to the head, officials said. The prosecutor's office said an investigation revealed that the home's natural gas line had been tampered with, and an accelerant was present, indicating the fire had been intentionally set. So it sounds like he did a terrible thing and murdered her and then blew up the house. According to NBC 10, neighbors and an ex-girlfriend, Nicole Ruiz, identified the man as Daniel Steele. NBC 10 reports that Steele dropped off his dog, Billy, at her home shortly before the fire. Ruiz told NBC 10 that Steele also left a bag of dog food, and inside she found money. She said NBC 10 also reports that Ruiz received an email from Steele moments before the fire. I am a terrible person. By the time you read this, I won't be alive. Billy loves you more than anyone I've ever seen. Take care of yourself. Love, me. So that's that. And that's all the info we have on the story as of now. What do you think, Josh?
Well, also, she has, I just read before we got here, she had 3 daughters.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And she was loved by like everyone in the community, like very well known. And then she just found herself in this situation with an ex. And It's terrible. Really terrible.
Absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up, sometimes with these articles, I try to look people up and see if I can find them. Oh, wow. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Looks like he was a dentist.
It's like some people just lose it, man. Like, how do you like?
Nope, that's not him.
Josh,
Just accused the wrong guy.
don't
show his
in the
picture.
middle of an article.
Okay, sorry. But
It's a really sad story, and you're taking someone else's life and you're taking your own life. It's very selfish. If you're going through something, bro, you got to talk to someone. I don't know why. It's just very sad.
yeah, I think that's, I think we all go through something. But blowing up a house is not like
It's a little too far.
fell on a hard time.
Murdering someone.
Murdered someone, blew up the house. I think there's deeper things going on there that, bad individual. Very sad. Let's move on to our final story of the week. You guys ready for a Netflix update?
Yes, sir.
So Netflix has broken ground on the $900 million movie studio in New Jersey that will bring thousands of jobs to the Garden State.
We've talked about it for years, and it's here. They broke ground this week.
Netflix has officially broke ground this week on the sprawling new $900 million production hub in central New Jersey, with more than a third of the funding coming from tax credits provided by the Garden State. Netflix Studios Fort Monmouth will transform a long-abandoned U.S. Army base into a 500,000 square foot facility housing sound stages and a backlot, post-production suites, and offices. So this is going to be something special.
Yeah, it's going to be
Gonna be big.
massive.
So the deal to build the new campus in Eatontown, marking a significant East Coast expansion for the video streaming giant, was boosted by $387 million in tax credits, according to state officials. New Jersey's film and digital media tax credits offer up to 35% for production expenses and up to 40% for digital post-production figures. I want to know how that shakes out. So that means you can get a tax credit if you're making a movie in New Jersey for up to 35% of production expenses. So if
That's
I
crazy.
make The Avengers in New Jersey for $200 million, that means I'm getting $70 million in tax credits? How does that work out? So we're just...
I have no idea.
It's crazy. I have no idea either. It's a big number.
California's status as the nation's film hub has been eroded in recent years as studios have opted to film movies in lower tax locales such as Georgia and the United Kingdom. So it sounds like the state is aimed at taking California down and bringing the business here.
Yeah, and they're all about it too. They're very stoked.
We've been seeing a lot of these movies being filmed around the state. I feel like every week I get a text from someone, hey, movie filming in Westfield, movie filming in Cranford, movie filming up in Denville, movie filming in Rockaway. Like every town, suburban town has a movie.
Everyone wants to be in Jersey, and now add this giant production studio in central Jersey, bro. It's just gonna up it by 10.
Yeah. You guys think this is good for New Jersey? What are your thoughts?
I mean, what does it say? It's gonna bring thousands of jobs too, correct?
Yeah, I would
yeah,
assume.
but is a state more than just jobs?
But I mean, what do you think would be bad about it?
The overpopulation, the rising housing costs, schools that we're already not funding schools properly. And I think that, to me, I'm not saying this is bad. Maybe this pans out great. I'm iffy anytime I hear about these major new developments bringing stuff in.
Would you rather them take that U.S. Army base and build apartments there instead? Because that would bring more people.
I definitely wouldn't rather that either. Mm-hmm. But that's like saying, do you want me to stab you or want me to shoot you? Like,
well, not really, because the Netflix studio is not bringing in, it's just bringing in people from other towns, so it builds up more traffic. And I guess more people are moving to the
I
area.
think it's going to bring people from California, people from North Carolina, people from Georgia, like they're saying, where the movies are being filmed. And they're all going to buy houses.
And they're all making good money, probably,
they're all making
too.
a lot of money. A lot of Netflix executives. If you're just creating jobs for people like your neighbor Joe down the street that needs a job, that's great. But that's not ever what this stuff does. Mm-hmm. I don't think. I think you're going to have an influx of New Yorkers. It's just going to make New Jersey more of a gated community, sort of
adding to the
tower.
problem that currently is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hate to sound like I was never this guy, and I hate talking like this. I was always very like, hey, man, it's the free market. Do what you want to do. And now I'm like, no, we really need to, as a state, dive into local community and just say no to this garbage. Now, Netflix might be great, but I just feel like there's all around overdevelopment happening. And there's zero concern from the state. I don't hear the state concerned at all about affordability of housing unless it comes to them building luxury apartments, which we've talked about a million times, which doesn't help any of the guys in this room that we want to buy houses and have we want to live the dream our parents lived. All of us who have parents from New Jersey.
Well, I got some unfortunate news for you.
Yeah.
Well, according to Murphy's quote, he said, "This is not about us. This is about generations to come." So screw you.
Yeah, it's about screwing the future generations. I mean, I don't know. I know I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm not saying this is totally a bad idea, but I'm iffy with all this stuff. I'm iffy when anytime they try to bring industry in. If they made a law, here's where I'd be open to it. If Murphy made a law and said 90% of employees have to be, I will give you the tax credits. I will give you the property. I will help make it happen. If 90% of the jobs that you dole out in the first 5 years go to residents of New Jersey, I'd be like, great, that's a good idea. But that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, make sure it's not like only 5% of New Jerseyans getting the job.
They should. I think as the governor of New Jersey, you're representing us. You should be doing our bidding and going, hey, Netflix, I'll make a great deal with you, but you got to employ my people. Why not?
I mean,
someone that has been a resident of the Garden State for at least 18 months.
Yeah, because townships do that. Like certain fire departments, police departments,
of course
you have to live in this town or like for a certain amount of time.
Same idea.
Yeah. So it's like if there's tax dollars being put towards this or massive tax credits, I feel like you could do the same thing where it's like you need 50% of your employees have to be people who are already residents.
Yeah, I think
is a great idea.
I think like that's where politicians need to be smart. I think we need politicians that are clever and think outside the box and don't just think, how can I get a legacy project put in? I was the guy that got Netflix in. We're giving out tax credits. It's going to bring jobs. It means nothing. Bringing jobs means absolutely nothing unless you're employing the people you're representing, your constituents. You are not the governor of California. You're not the governor of New York. You're the governor of New Jersey. So represent the people of Monmouth County well and bring jobs in for the next generation. Like you said, the 18-year-old kid right now that's at Montclair State University and wants to study film. Great. You want to get a job? Well, we have a job lined up for you. Because you grew up in this state. You live here. This is not for Californians to move out to our state. This is for New Jersey residents. Does that not make sense?
Well, yeah, I would love to see the stats in like 4 years, 5 years from now, or like 5 years after they open this place to see like how many people from the area were actually employed.
I would think they would argue though that like it does at least benefit some people in the state because like, seeing some of the movie sets here, like they have like local caterers, like they have a lot of local businesses that do get supported by these, or at least making extra money because of this. So there are, New Jersey residents benefiting.
I think you're right. I think anytime there's these massive developments happen, there's going to be benefits for some people. I think there will be negatives for other people. Like if you own a home in this area, you just won the lottery. Your home value is about to shoot up in the next 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say 10 years from now, your house is going to be double this is a great time to invest in Monmouth County. If you own a catering business, like you said, maybe you get a contract with Netflix and your life changes forever. On the flip side, I think there's negatives as well, but I think I've stated them already, but I think you're right. It could be, anytime big developments like this happen, local communities are definitely impacted for the better. I just think the question it comes down to is the goal of a society just to make everybody as much money as possible and make the state our average income for the township go up from $120,000 to $220,000, or is the goal for people to have a great quality of life and for people to have hope as the generations go on that they could build a life in the state and they don't have to leave the state? I don't see a lot of that right now. I look around and I don't have any friends that are buying houses.
Well, that's the thing. The prices of everything are going up while everyone's income is basically staying the same, or like it's not following the same trajectory.
It just feels to me like I'm fine with. I'm a big supporter of business. Like the state has famously doled out major tax benefits to pharmaceutical companies, and that's a lot of people we grew up around. Their parents worked for Merck or they worked for Bayer. All these big companies. It's great. I think it's great, but that's when it's great, when the families of those people, are getting the jobs locally. I do not feel hopeful for a movie set. I think it's going to be people from out of state, and it's not going to make Jersey better. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope Netflix proves me wrong.
I hope those Staten Islanders don't move in and just try to take over. Like
we should go to war with Staten Island.
Yeah.
Let's just guys. We could conquer Staten Island in a weekend, fueled on Wawa hoagies alone. I think. Give me 18 hours. What did Patton say about North Korea? Do you remember that quote? This is my quote to end the podcast. Oh man, I can't find it. It was a really good. There's a quote about like it would have been 2 weeks. Like there was a war. The gist was there was a famous war general after we liberated the South Koreans that was like you could have given me 2 more weeks and the North would have been done as well. Like that's all it would have taken is like 2 more weeks. But since we didn't, now we got North Korea.
Take them out pretty quickly.
They're like give me 2 weeks and a couple guys. But that could be us with Staten Island. We could make it Jersey Island.
Wait, but aren't they literally New York City's dump? Like, why would you want them?
Because
like, isn't that where all of New York City's garbage goes to? Pretty much.
But sometimes, man, when you dig through the rough, you dig through the dump, you find a little nugget of gold. And I think we got some New Yorkers that need to come over to the dark side of New Jersey,
brother.
I also think it just geographically, if you look at the map, look at that map right there. Tell me Staten Island does not fit in, nestled in there.
Yeah,
like
it is like a
glove.
weird cutout. Like,
yeah, like why is that not a part of us? It makes so much
There's
sense.
no way we're bringing him in. Too many people already.
Yeah, you're right. I'm contradicting myself now, saying get more people.
Yeah, now you want to bring Staten Island in,
hold on,
dude.
but we're acquiring more land in the process.
Not much more
tax
land. Not
dollars.
much. You're grabbing a very congested area of land.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, hey everybody, thanks for listening to this week's episode. Another good week. I really enjoyed this episode. We will be back next Friday with more news.
Hopefully,
Josh,
New Jersey Transit is fine next week and operational next time we're recording this podcast. We will be posting updates on our Instagram throughout the week, so be checking that. And hopefully, if you're a commuter, you find an easy way into the city, or just work from home if you're able to.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.